don't have as long a, oh, there they go. So, oops. Now what about plates? You can spin plates too. They also have a center of mass. These plates, their center of mass is right in the center of the plate. Holidays are coming up. I think it's 4th of July coming up. Boy, I could use some cool watermelon. Let's juggle some cool watermelon here. They're all going to spin about their center of mass. Oh, there they go. And up and whoa! There they go. Cool watermelon. Well, by the way, talking about 4th of July, you got to have your hamburgers, your hot dogs. They're delicious. Going to have a few here. See if we can juggle. Oh, we're not spinning them, but they're certainly good to eat. And then finally, oh, I can cap that off with a little cool ice cream. Let's see what I can have with the ice cream. Oh, some delicious ice cream. Whew, I'm going to really enjoy this. And, oh, just my luck. See you in the next segment.
3, 2, 1.
All right, back again. A little bit more about angular momentum. Got a little baseball bat here. Yes, a baseball bat spins about its center of mass. Here I've got some fluorescent tape that's on the baseball bat. It's pretty much balanced here. I got a little string here. We're going to spin the bat along the string, but it pretty much balances along this fluorescent tape. Now, how can you tell that the baseball bat spins about the fluorescent tape or center of mass? You don't want to throw it into the audience. That might hurt someone. But you can spin the bat. So I've got a string on the bat, and I slowly increase the angular velocity, and you'll watch that fluorescent tape slowly turn into a little fluorescent circle as I spin it faster and faster and faster. So, indeed, the baseball bat spins about its center of mass like everything spins about its center of mass. So, reminds me of Will Rogers. He was a lasso artist. So I'm Dr. Bones, the Will Rogers of science, I suppose. See you in the next segment. Well, we've had an interesting discussion about angular momentum. Angular momentum brings us to the next topic. We talk about torque. Torque is a force along a radius, all right? So it's a turning force. Now, the kind of interesting ways to talk about torque. Angular momentum obviously involved. Changing angular momentum is a torque. Here's a hula hoop. Everyone has a hula hoop at home. I'm sure they like to play with. Here I've got a couple of clamps on the ends, and I've taped in little stacks of pennies, so we've got some masses on these ends of the hula hoop. It would be different in terms of the moment of inertia and the torque that you'd be spinning with in your hand if we spin it this way along the axis or along a perpendicular axis this way. And the best way to do this is to try it out. You can see me doing it, but you really can't tell that it's much harder for me to spin it this way with the masses on the ends as opposed to this way with the masses down the center. So I'm going to show you. You can try it at home. So here the masses are along the centers. I spin it, all right, and it slows down rather quickly. Watch what happens when I spin it along this perpendicular. Masses are bigger, but guess what? It will spin longer. Whoops, well, that was a tough one, but watch this. Here we go. Hey, oh. Harder to spin, but it stays spinning longer, longer, longer. So you got to really try this out at home. So one more try here along the line here. All right, kind of dies out pretty fast. And along the perpendicular, even though harder to spin, it will spin longer. And there you have it. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about torque with a bicycle tire. Here's the bicycle tire I've got. Now, I've got a bicycle tire hook to an end of a string, and I've got a handle here. If I let this bicycle tire go, gravity pulls it down. Gravity pulls everything toward the center of the earth. Is it possible for me to use the concept of torque and angular momentum to support this bicycle tire? Yes, I can generate an angular momentum, meaning spin the tire. Look at that, and look what happens. Keeps the tire from falling down, but you'll notice it spins about this axis. That's called a precession. And it will precess about this axis because it's opposing the gravitational torque. Right? So there's a torque pulling it downward. And let's try it again, put a little more energy into it. And as you can see, we spin it, but it also spins about this axis as well. Interesting effect. So I'm going to see you in the next segment, but first I'd like to talk a little bit more about spinning, and you can't end a talk about angular momentum and torque without spinning some rubber chickens. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can do this one. Here we go. Oh, whoa, let's try one more try. Hard to do, but I think I can do it. Oh. Well, pretty good. One more try. There we go. Third time was the charm. See you next time, Dr. Bones Show. Okay.